Yo, what's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking? Welcome back to another episode. Boy, oh boy, this did not go the way that you wanted it to go at all. This was a game that really, from the middle of the second quarter on, turned into something that I don't think many people expected. From TJ McBride, the Denver Nuggets, first off, they lost 135 to 110, and TJ McBride Denver led 57 to 45 with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left before halftime. They've been outscored at one point in time in the game 85 to 47 over the course of the rest of the game into the fourth quarter. So here's the thing. There's a lot to get into, a lot to talk about, but I think the first thing that needs to be addressed is the fact that here are the point totals for the Denver Nuggets that they've given up this season. The Denver Nuggets gave up 123 points to the Jazz. They gave up 123 points to the Warriors. They gave up 117 points to the Thunder, and they gave up 135 points to the Blazers. So Michael Malone walked into this year stating that he wants the Denver Nuggets to be a top five defense, and thus far, the Denver Nuggets are giving up over 124 points a game. So that's obviously problematic. Now, the Blazers obviously got really hot. I think I want to say Anthony Simons had 22 points in the third quarter. They went from a 61 to 55 lead for the Nuggets to where they ended up closing out down more than 15 points. And so, yeah, it turned bad. It turned really bad. And let me see, the end of the third quarter, the Denver Nuggets were down by, I think, 17 points, it might have been, maybe 15. But it just wasn't a good game defensively. I mean, just quite simple. I think everybody in here, especially the folks that are saying trade Jamal Murray, man, y'all just take a break, like for real, relax, go eat something. It's literally game 4 of the season, man. Like just doing too much, doingtoomuch.com. But I get it. I think a lot of this comes down to the Denver Nuggets have the best personnel they've ever had defensively, but for some reason, man, not yet. They just haven't been able to put it together. They haven't been able to buy into a scheme. They haven't been able to buy into an identity. They have not yet been able to come to a consensus on giving the level of effort that's needed. And I think the thing is, like, hot shooting is hot shooting, right? That happens. Like, that's going to happen. But at different points in times in the game, though, there are ways for you to be able to respond defensively. And tonight, Anthony Simons had 29, 3 and 5 on 11 of 17 and 7 of 12 shooting from three. Damian Lillard had 31, 6 and 8 on 10 of 16 and 4 of 7 from three. Now, and then the starters were a plus 20, plus 24, plus 26, plus 19, plus 14. Now, will that happen again? No. I don't believe it's going to happen again. I think this comes down to once the Nuggets started letting go of the rope, they kind of changed from there. Tonight, the big story is that Nikola Jokic was seemingly in foul trouble from the start of the game, really from about the second quarter, but he was really passive in the first quarter, but he seemed to be wanting his teammates to get involved tonight. They scored 61 points in the first half without him. So they just wanted to get a chance to – he wanted them to get a chance to get in the rhythm, get the flow, but it ended up actually working against him and working against the team. And so the thing is, he was in foul trouble. He got 3 fouls towards the end of the second quarter, and they put DeAndre Jordan in. They went from a 12-point lead to a 6-point lead because DeAndre was awful in the minutes he played. DeAndre Jordan only played 10 minutes tonight, and he was a -3. He'd actually had a good stint when they first started. He played twice tonight. The first stint was okay. The last stint was not. But Jokic, man, he had 3 fouls at the end of the second quarter. He got a 4th foul at the top of the third quarter, and Michael Malone took him out. And Jokic was actually a -1 when they took him out. So the game was still very close. But literally, by the time he got back in, the Nuggets were down 17 points, 15 points. And he didn't get in until the very beginning of the fourth quarter. So tonight he had 9 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists on 3 of 4 shooting and 3 of 3 from the free throw line. And he was a -10. And it's just unacceptable for Jokic, man. I know that he wants to get everybody involved, and Jamal Murray and KCP, Bruce Brown, all that other stuff, man. But at the end of the day, yeah, he has to be more aggressive. And, Adam Ade has brought up a good point. This is only the second time in the last 3 years that Jokic has scored less than 10 points, and he did it last year in a 25-point win or 35-point win or whatever else it was. But yeah, it's just unacceptable. You're the back-to-back MVP. Yeah, and then Michael Malone from Katie Wingy said that the Nuggets can't contain one-on-one. They gave up 18 blow-bys tonight. So this is on their guards. Their guards gave up 18 blow-bys tonight for 22 points, and they didn't do anything defensively. 1,000%. Full agree. But at the end of the day, if the Denver Nuggets said they want to be a top 5 defense or aim towards the top 5 defense, well, you're going to have to do what the Celtics did last year, where they went from middle of the pack from January on. They were the best defense in the NBA, basically. And so if you're going to do that, then you got to make the moves to do it. You got to get the job done. You got to commit to the rotations. You got to commit to the process. And right now, they're not. It's simply put, right now, they're not doing that. So, yeah, it's just one of those things, man, where, like, it was a collection of things. Like I said, Anthony Simons went for 22 points. Dame was shooting really well. But even last year, the Nuggets didn't have the defensive issues they're having right now. So if you've improved your personnel, their offense is actually worse than it was last year as well. They're struggling. But defensively, the starting unit has actually been pretty good defensively. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just that third quarter. What kind of went sideways. I'll have to go look at cleaning the glass later and figure out all the possession stuff because I want to say they had 91 possessions before this game. I mean, they were like a +8, maybe a +8 in terms of their offensive per 100 possessions and their defensive per 100 possessions. They were like playing well defensively, but their offense just has not been there fully yet. But yeah, man. I mean, they play the Lakers again. They play the Lakers on Wednesday, so they're going to be able to put this behind them really quickly, and they're going to have to. But yeah, Jamal Murray tonight had 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist, and he did not score after the first quarter. He was 3 of 12 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, and 0 of 2 from the free throw line. He was a -15. Yeah, Jamal Murray is just not in rhythm. Like, he's not used to playing basketball again yet. And you can just tell by how he's moving. You can tell by the shot selection, his inability to drive by people, all that stuff. You can see it when he's playing. And so I think a lot of this is, like I said, really it's going to take 20 to 25 games for you to start to see some of the old Jamal Murray. He started off the first quarter really well, and then it was downhill from there. So he got a shot block on a fast break where, again, previously he would have dunked that. So just not great from him. Michael Porter Jr. tonight, 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. He would once again shot 7 of 14 from the field, and he once again shot 4 of 8 from 3. So he's shooting 50% through 4 games from 3, and he was only a -3 tonight. So he actually played really well, and he played 26 minutes. But I think the thing is, though, is that at one point he got a offensive rebound against Nurkic, and this was in the second quarter, and he really started walking pretty gingerly after that, like running on the court pretty gingerly. And so he still kept playing in the second half. He hit some more shots in the second half, but I was a little concerned watching him that he just started to move a bit differently. I don't know what it was, but he kept playing. So obviously he's fine enough to continue to play NBA basketball, but that didn't look great. And really, I would even say that once that happened, that's when the Nuggets kind of fell apart. They just didn't seem to have the same level of urgency, and offense just dissipated. Like I said, they had 61 points in the first half, and they'd only given up 55. So they gave up 80 points in the second half of the game after giving up only 55. And they themselves, they only scored 59 points the rest of the game. So it was just everything flipped. And I'm not exactly sure why. They gave up 80 points, and they scored 4. Yeah. That's crazy. They scored 49 points, rather. They scored 49 points in the second half. So, I don't know, man. They're still figuring out. There's a lot of stuff they got to figure out. Tonight, the Blazers shot 58% from the field, 46% from 3. The Nuggets shot 49% from the field. They had more two-pointers that they went up. They shot 39% from 3. The Blazers were 23 of 31 from the free throw line. Now, that was a huge story. And the Nuggets, with the dominant center, were only 8 of 14. Like the lowest output of the year. The Blazers were getting to the rack. Every time they went to the rack, they were getting fouls. Tonight, The Nuggets had 28 personal fouls, and the Blazers had 15, and that was really a lot of the story of the game. The Nuggets got called for 28 personal fouls, and the Blazers got called for 15. Do I expect that to keep happening? No. Like I said, early on in the season, things are getting figured out, and the Nuggets have a more dominant interior game, but they just couldn't take advantage of it. Jokic got 2 quick fouls. He got 1 because he did Lillard was driving to the rim, so he stopped him. But then he got his 3rd foul. Michael Malone took him out and put DJ in, and then things went downhill from there. Then he got his 4th foul. Really, really bad call. Got his 4th foul, and they took him out of the game. And then he got his 5th foul, and Jokic couldn't rim protect after that at all. So, and MPJ was in foul trouble. Yeah, it was just a mix of a lot of different things, y'all. MPJ tonight, yeah, he had 5 fouls as well. So, your 2 best scorers. Bones Highland had 15, 1 and 3 on 5 of 10 shooting and 4 of 7 from 3. He was a minus 18 as well. Bruce Brown, 6, 5 and 4. He was a minus 16. Jeff Green, 7, 2 and 1. He was a minus 15. Christian Brown, minus 6. DeAndre Jordan, minus 3. Davon Reed, minus 3. Wasn't a good game. Really bad game. Ugliest game of the year so far. They've had 2 really ugly games, but they're really going to have to figure out the defensive stuff, man. That's really what's coming down to. Michael Malone said he wants them to be a top 5 unit and aim for that. Well, 135 points, 123 points, 122 points, and 122 points ain't going to get the job done. And at some point, that's going to come back down to coaching. Coaching, you got to do better. You have to. Like, coaching has to be better. The team has to be better. They have to buy into it. Yeah, and then he said, Michael Malone from Katie Wingy said that the 3rd quarter was a result of poor personal discipline. Yeah. It is what it is, though. I'm honestly not tripping too hard. They play the Lakers on Wednesday. Hopefully it's a better game. Hopefully it's a better turnout. I think it will be because it has to be. But just unacceptable defense tonight. Really hot shooting from the Blazers. Jokic, again, 4 shots, 9, 9, and 9. Just can't do it. So we'll see, man. I'm sorry that it wasn't a better game. We would have had better content today, but it was just a foul fest too, man. There were just fouls all over the place. And once Jokic got in foul trouble, it was just really hard to continue to lock into the game for the Denver Nuggets. But they're going to have to continue to get up and get going. But, yeah, I appreciate y'all. It's been great. We'll see. We got the Lakers on Wednesday, y'all. Got more content coming out. Got more highlights coming out. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Make sure that you're following me on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok and stuff as well. Hey, y'all. Swipe again. Know what time it is. We will see y'all soon.